you all for coming tonight to see my presentation on my enlistment in the Army and my future plans with that. So tonight I'm going to talk about how the military in these points, how they will affect friends, family, faith, future, and all the different careers it will provide for me and other opportunities. So currently my plan is to serve in our U.S. Army for at least 8 years. It's quite a process to get into. There's several steps. Your first step would be talking to a recruiter, signing a bunch of paperwork, like several hours worth of paperwork. After all that, you go to MEPS, which is where you do a bunch of physical tests, you swear in, you enlist, you choose which job you want to go into. Currently, I'm planning on training as an 11 Bravo infantryman and an 82nd Airborne trooper. As of right now, I have a total of 6 months at Fort Benning for all my training in total, and upon the succession of that boot camp, I will most likely get deployed to Germany for a few months. So in the U.S. Army, there's 150 different MOSs, and they all require something different. None of them are the same in any way, well, kind of. Many of these jobs can lead to greater opportunities in the Army and outside in the civilian world. So some pros of being in the military is it gives you a different perspective of the world. You look at it from a different point of view through your training and deployments. You get to do jobs you wouldn't be able to do in the civilian world, and it provides you with a unique set of skills, and some of them can give you greater opportunities outside of service. Like I said, they all require each special set of skills, and the one I'm looking at is mechanic. You work on a variety of equipment. You can get certifications for different mechanical work and a lot of other jobs. like I said, it opens a lot of opportunities, and you can get certified in a dozen different ways. Automotive, diesel, marine, or aviation, and you can get certified in every single one of those, and you can work those outside of the military.
Wheeled Vehicle Mechanic. The Wheeled Vehicle Mechanic supervises and performs field-level maintenance and recovery operations on tactical wheeled vehicles and their associated subsystems.
The most rewarding part is knowing that I came in with zero experience and how much I've learned so far.
As a wheeled vehicle mechanic, you'll train using a skills-based, student-centered approach on the fundamentals and principles of troubleshooting and performing maintenance on a variety of systems, including electrical, hydraulics, diesel engines, transmission, steering and suspension, brakes, air conditioning systems, and the common remotely operated weapon station.
The opportunities are just endless.
Your duties may also require you to operate equipment for test driving and diagnostic purposes, and to also conduct recovery of disabled vehicles in a safe and expedient manner. The Wheeled Vehicle Mechanic can help you transition from the military to the civilian employment sector.
So they should be able to walk into any automotive shop or diesel shop in the civilian world and have that experience.
Wheeled Vehicle Mechanic. The wheel.
So, being in the military has its pros and cons, and one of those cons is you're not always the same when you come back, especially if you're on a deployment and you see things that really mess you up. But luckily, there's a lot of help you can get, specifically the Department of Veterans Affairs. They help you with mental health and family for when you come back, because it's not always what you see, but like that makes it challenging being in the military. But coming home can be a bigger challenge, especially if you've been gone for a long time and trying to get used to living with the family and dealing with other things. It can be really tough being in the Army is really tough on you physically and mentally. It wears your body down, your brain. And when someone gets out of the Army, they can have a hard time transitioning back to the civilian world, because they're changing from something that's really demanding to something way more relaxed. Being a Christian in the Army is going to be a very big test, as you're always pushed to be the best of the best. You have a lot of good experiences, but you also have some that will make you look back and rethink what you really believe in. Likely being a Christian going into this, I can look to God when in certain situations and asking Him for help. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." NMCS has prepared me in a lot of ways, specifically service to the community. Being in the Army, it's really going to help stress on that. And more than that, I'll be able to serve more than the community, but also our country. Matthew 5:16 says, "So don't hide your light, let it shine brightly before others, so that the commendable things you do will shine as a light upon them, and they will give their praise to your Father in heaven." I chose the Army because I've always had an interest in it. There hasn't been a lot of people in my family that served, and getting to serve makes me feel different. It will give me certain skills, like I said earlier, that no one else will really be able to get, and I'll get to serve my country at the same time. Currently, I'm planning on leaving for Fort Benning on June 22nd after our graduation and all that fun stuff. And there's a total of almost 36 weeks in total for my training. Then I'll be back for a few months and then deployed. Yep, that's about it. Thanks.